By 2025, Ola had positioned itself to be the leader of Indian mobility, but within a matter of months, the systems designed to scale that reach caused their operations to stop. On the streets, the company faced a massive labor revolt, with drivers losing up to 30% of every fare to platform fees. Earnings dropped below 500 rupees a day, triggering nationwide strikes that paralyzed transit in major cities. Simultaneously, their hardware division was struggling under a collapse in engineering standards. Ola Electric service centers were receiving 80,000 monthly complaints as early scooter models suffered from snapping aluminum suspensions and software bugs that caused vehicles to accelerate in reverse. The financial toll was immediate. Parent company revenue dropped 42%, losses doubled, and a 57% crash in the group's net worth triggered severe credit downgrades. These simultaneous fractures across completely different business units point to a central underlying flaw. The foundational philosophy of the company was breaking under pressure. For years, Ola operated on a classic aggregator model. They leveraged their massive driver network to attempt rapid horizontal expansion, launching quick commerce delivery with Ola Dash and acquiring Foodpanda to take on the food sector. That model relies on extracting a transaction fee while renting existing infrastructure. Ola owned very few hard assets and relied heavily on imported electric vehicle components, leaving them highly exposed. Tracking ride-hailing market share from 2023 to 2025, Ola's dominance erodes from 45% to 20%, while Rapido surges past them. Adding their hardware division to the graph, the drop is steeper. Driven by engineering faults, Ola Electric contracted from 46% down to 5.4%. Attempting to build a resilient business purely by acting as a middleman and taxing transactions fails when specialized competitors enter the market. Facing collapse across the board, leadership realized they could not market their way out of broken products. They had to own the engineering stack from the ground up through vertical integration. The centerpiece of this survival strategy meant transitioning from a parts assembler into a base-level manufacturer. This shift is anchored right here, at the newly operational Ola Gigafactory. Inside, they initiated mass production of India's first indigenously developed 4680 lithium-ion polymer cell. Bringing this specific chemistry in-house directly addresses their two largest vulnerabilities. It allows them to engineer out the thermal safety hazards that caused early battery fires, and it reduces their bill of materials, giving them the margins needed to compete. Owning the physical energy layer and manufacturing the battery cells provides a defensive moat that a consumer app alone could never achieve. On the ride-hailing side, the core business was facing an existential threat. Driver-owned cooperatives like Bharat Taxi began entering the market, operating completely free of percentage-based platform fees. This diagram compares the old commission structure to Ola's new counteroffensive. They scrapped the 30% platform tax, replacing it with a flat daily subscription of roughly 67 rupees, allowing drivers to keep 100% of the passenger fare. This shifts the economic psychology of the workforce. Drivers stop operating as independent contractors paying a heavy tax and instead function as technology users renting a dispatch tool. Sacrificing a lucrative percentage cut of every ride is a tactical shift to stop the labor bleed and neutralize the threat of cooperatives. While the physical networks required intense capital to restructure, the group found a financial stabilizer in an unexpected place: Crewtrim, their artificial intelligence venture. Crewtrim pivoted toward domestic AI cloud services and localized solutions. By leaning into the demand for data sovereignty, the unit turned profitable in fiscal year 2026, boasting a net margin exceeding 10%. These high-margin enterprise revenues help cross-subsidize the capital burns occurring in the mobility and hardware divisions. Crewtrim's 10% margin offers a high-margin counterweight to the ride-hailing business, suggesting that the group's future stability depends on owning the underlying intelligence of the network. This graph of Ola Electric's public valuation tracks the market's reaction to the pivot. Following a 6-month losing streak, the stock executed a sharp V-shaped recovery, climbing from a low of 21 rupees back up to over 35 rupees by May 2026. That financial momentum matches a tangible consumer response. Monthly vehicle registrations jumped 20%, driven by the adoption of their new Roadster X electric motorcycle line. With EV manufacturing stabilizing, the organization is pushing forward with an IPO for Ola Consumer, aiming to build the capital required to properly defend its territory against Uber. These recovering metrics validate a corporate architecture that was rebuilt to survive its own collapse. The Ola Group operating today functions as a deep tech holding entity, bearing little resemblance to the consumer app company it was a few years ago. The ecosystem is now built on three pillars: physical manufacturing at the Gigafactory, decentralized zero-commission labor tools, and localized computational power via CrewTrim. This highlights a harsh reality for emerging markets. Operating strictly as a digital middleman and skimming fees from the top is a strategy with diminishing returns. Long-term success in this sector now requires a shift toward manufacturing hardware and developing the underlying